How you doing, YouTube family? I know it's been a minute. I've been going on a little short hiatus and I hadn't been making any videos, but here I am, Saturday, September 14th, 2024. It's your man, Big D, and I'm back with another one. Before I speak on this next topic, I just want to thank all of you that have continued to go over to my son's channel, Illuminated D, to continue to rock with him and support him. I want to thank all of you that have taken the plunge to subscribe to his channel. He appreciates that, and so do I. So, YouTube family, I had some friends of mine that wanted to get my opinion on the whole situation that transpired with Tyreek Hill. I believe it was last Sunday. He was driving recklessly on his way to the football stadium down there in Miami. And, you know, I know a lot of people gave the Miami-Dade police officers a lot of flack and a lot of bad press, saying that, you know, they was, you know, possibly a little biased towards him, a little overly aggressive. And I just wanted to speak on this. So here's the thing. When Tyreek Hill was caught on their body cams, he was driving he was speeding, first of all. And clearly there had been some type of information that had been relayed to, I don't know if it was via, you know, Miami-Dade's dispatch saying that he was driving recklessly. But I can say that when I saw the video of him driving past the Miami-Dade motorcycle police officers, he was getting it. He was pushing that McLaren. And, you know, my previous career field, you know, I was certified to handle, you know, radars, lasers. I was trained to visually estimate a car's speed and what have you. So, you know, there's a lot of training that these guys go through, especially the traffic guys, you know, the guys that have the radars on their, you know, their motorcycles or in their vehicles, radars, they have lasers and what have you. So we can't dispute the matter that Tyreek was driving like an asshole. He was driving crazy and he was speeding. The next thing is Tyreek knew he was driving fast. He knew that the police officers were behind him, pulling him over. Now, when the first officer approached Tyreek's vehicle, Tyreek's windows rolled up. Now, here's the thing, people. I understand that nobody cares for law enforcement. I understand that, you know, everybody think that all cops are just, you know, shady and they not there, you know, to help people. They just want to, you know, F people over. And let me tell you that maybe that might be the case with some law enforcement, but that is not the case with all. And I cannot, in good conscience, knowing that I've been in that officer's shoes, in his boots, approaching somebody's car window who, for whatever the reason, even though that they were wrong, even though that they broke the law, they want to act like assholes. So this man go up to Tyreek's driver's side window, the window's tinted. Tyreek know the man walking up to the car. He know the man approaching the vehicle. Why you got your window rolled up, Ty? Breathe. Why you got your window rolled up, bro? You know this man just pulled you over. You know he is going to have a conversation with you. Why you got your window rolled up? See, people, what you got to understand is, in life, your attitude determines your altitude. So if you got a piss poor nasty attitude, well, guess what? You probably gonna get some lash bite from whoever that you're having this negative interaction with, right? So the first thing, Tyreek, you was speeding, you was driving crazy. The second thing, the man approached your driver's side window. Why didn't you roll the window down? That's all you had to do. Roll the window down. Hey, officer, sir, whatever. I'm sorry. I'm running late to the game. I'm one of the players for the Miami Dolphins. Them people already know who he is. They know who Rick is. So it's not like he got to introduce himself. They already know who he is. So, but if they didn't, and maybe they're not football fans, just say, hey, listen, I'm running late. I just need to get to the stadium. I'm sorry, I was speeding. I apologize. I shouldn't have been doing that. If Tyreek would have maybe went that route, I'm pretty certain that the outcome would have been different. But here's the thing, Tyreek didn't do that. So Tyreek already driving recklessly. He getting pulled over. You know the guy walking up to his driver's side window. He don't roll the window down. So that the guy got to knock on the window. So now the guy knock on the window. Tyreek, man, why you banging on my window like that? Well, bro, you should have rolled your window down. You know the man come up to have a conversation with you. Should have rolled your window down. So now Tyreek and this man going back and forth as to why he banging on his window so hard. So then Tyreek basically said, just go ahead and give me my ticket. Okay, at that point, after the officer got Tyreek's essential documentation, got his documents, his license, registration, all that good stuff, and not to mention when Tyreek rolled the window down, he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Now, I don't know if Tyreek possibly could have taken the seatbelt off before his interaction with the law enforcement officer. I don't know. But if he was wearing the seatbelt and took it off before the cop walked up to the driver's side window, he could say, hey, man, I was wearing my seatbelt, but I figured we're going to be here for a while, so I just took it off. Ain't no sense in me having it on if I'm not driving and I'm pulled over waiting to have this conversation with you. But Tyreek never disputed that. So that leads me to believe that he wasn't wearing the seatbelt. So now you got that in play. So the law enforcement officer, the Miami-Dade police officer, asked him, hey, man, can you not roll the window up, keep the window down? And contrary to popular belief, down here in the state of Florida, when law enforcement has initiated a lawful traffic stop, and if your car has tinted windows, they can ask you and require that you keep the window rolled down. Because keep this in mind, people, Tyreek's car wasn't searched. They don't know if he got a firearm in the car. And there have been many occasions where law enforcement officers have been injured and some killed in the line of duty because of the same situation. They walking up on a car, guy got tinted windows. Next thing you know, it goes bad for the cops. So, as law enforcement, we know that we're trained to deal with certain things. So, I just believe that Tyreek could have handled things differently. And I will say, as far as the Miami-Dade police officer, I think he's a veteran. He has 25 plus years. He's close to retirement. And I get it. Maybe his patience is not what it used to be when he was a, first year, 5 year, 6 year law enforcement officer. I get it. Maybe his patience wasn't what it should have been on that particular day. But as far as him approaching the window, tapping on the window, getting Tyreek's documentation and asking him to keep the window rolled down, I don't see anything that he did wrong. Now, when Tyreek persisted into doing what he wanted to do, after the man just asked him, hey, man, can you keep the window rolled down for my safety and yours? Tyreek rolled the window back up. So that right there, you're being defiant and you basically being an a-hole. I know some people gonna give me some flashback. I know y'all gonna, I'm gonna trigger some people, but that man was being an a-hole. This man is a multi-millionaire, and he giving some poor blue collar public service workers who probably at best, you can do pretty good in law enforcement, but at their range, they ain't making much. They might be making a little over six figures. I don't know what Miami-Dade's salary is, but they're not making what Tyreek making. So, man, I just in my mind, I would say, hey, listen, if I was wrong and I did something wrong, there's no way that I'm going to give these people a hard time because I'm making millions. And these people trying to do a job. I'm just not gonna be no butthole. But I find that in some occasions, people that that have money, and not all, but some, they feel like that they above reproach, they're above the law. And let me tell you, during my law enforcement career, I've had interactions with some of the Buccaneers down here in Tampa, and let me tell you, they can, not all, but the ones I encountered, they were straight buttholes. Even when they done broke the law, done committed crimes, they are still buttholes for no reason. And I'm like, hey, I wouldn't even be here if it weren't for cause of you. And think about it. If Tyreek wouldn't have been driving all crazy like a goddamn maniac, he wouldn't have got pulled over. They weren't pulling nobody else over. So, yes, I will say that the law enforcement officer probably could have been a little more patient with him, especially when he was already in handcuffs and trying to stand up. And then, they forcing him to sit down after he said he had a knee injury. Listen, I understand all that, but what the lay person has to understand is this. Okay, yeah, maybe he did have knee surgery. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But the average police officer that done stopped you on the side of the road, he don't know if you lying. He don't know if you telling the truth. And really and truly, keep in mind, had you just not been driving crazy, you wouldn't be here anyway. So in closing, because I'm not gonna hold you all, in my opinion, the person that was and I know this is not proper English, but the person that was the most wrong in this situation was Tyreek. Yeah, I'm sure the police officer gonna get a bad rap. They gonna, people, he got to go through the process with his superiors. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't see, he may get a little talking to, but I don't see much other happening in that. And, I think I heard Tyreek say that the guy need to be reprimanded. Well, Tyreek, hey, check this out. If that man need to be reprimanded and get some days off and miss some days of pay, well, maybe you should be reprimanded too. Maybe you should be suspended for a game or two. Maybe they should dock your pay 25, 30,000 stipends and see how you feel. Because keep in mind, Tyreek, you was driving like an asshole. And you shouldn't have been driving crazy like that. You could have ran into somebody. You could have lost control. A million things could have happened. And when it happens, people always want to say, well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen. Well, guess what? When you done ran into somebody and you done caused great bodily harm to somebody because you driving like an asshole, lost control. Now, the first thing you want to say is, I'm sorry. Listen, people, I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that all police officers, all law enforcement officers, I don't care if they feds, I don't care if it's your local municipality, I don't care if it's your sheriff's offices. Listen, all these places have people that are doing the job not for the appropriate reasons. Meaning that you're going to have your bad apples. But bear this in mind. You can have bad apples that work at Walmart. You can have bad apples that work at McDonald's. You can have bad apples that work at Church's Chicken, Popeye's Chicken. Listen, you can have bad apples no matter where you go. But at the end of the day, your attitude will determine your altitude. And keep in mind, when you come in contact with law enforcement, for example, on a traffic stop, keep in mind that they ain't just pull you over for nothing. More times than not, there was a legal reason for them to pull you over, because here's the thing. You must have some type of probable cause or something to pull a car over. You just can't pull a car over. Oh, that car is black, or that car's that's a McLaren. I'm gonna pull that car over. No, that's not how it works. There must be some violation of the law that gives law enforcement the ability to come in contact with the everyday citizen. If you remove whatever reason that they have to come in contact with you, you won't have no negative interaction with law enforcement. So, in closing, I want to say, you know what? Tyreek could have done some things better, and the law enforcement officer probably, he could have done some things better too. He could have been a little more patient. Well, I don't want to hold you, family. I'm glad to be back again, and I will see you next time. Peace.